right. All right. Here we are again, doing this thing again, guys. Your boy Dre back with you. We're going to do another quick flight tonight from JFK all the way down to Charlotte Douglas in this Boeing 767-300. I've never streamed this plane, so it ought to be interesting. I've flown it a few times, so I'm thinking that's good enough for us to do it now on a stream. So last stream power went out, so hopefully the power doesn't go out today. But in the meantime, we'll just keep it going. So we're on the VATSIM network. We filed our flight plan. At this point, I do not believe that there is any whatsoever ATC in the JFK area. I'm just double checking that. And there's not. We're just out of the purview, if you will, from JFK. So here's JFK here. So we don't have any ATC, guys. So we can pretty much roll the dice and do what we want to do today, which that's the benefit. We'll try to keep it as close to what we need to do as possible. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get it, guys. Let's go ahead and get it. Let's go ahead and jump on board. Let's see. The power was on and it was aligning, so I'm very curious as to why it is not. And it looks like when I started up my ground stuff, let's see, I don't know why the GPU was not on. Boom, boom, boom. Remove all. Let's see, plane is loaded. At least that part is happening. So let's go back. It still says no external power. Wonder what's up with that. Okay. Alright, so we're starting it off interesting. Let's see. Let's go back to ground and make sure we got the chocks. Chocks, there's GPU. Curious as to why it's not showing our GPU up there. It has something to do probably with all those vehicles on the ground, but clearly GPU's on. But you know what, guys? There's always a way around everything. Let's go ahead and crank this APU up. And we'll just do APU style. We got to see where our line is at. Let's see. The buses are tied. Oh, there we go. That's part of the problem. So we should at least... I'm curious why we don't have avionics here. Very curious as to why we don't have any avionics. Let's see, batteries on. I honestly think we'd probably have to reload this flight, because right now we shouldn't be having these problems. Let's see here. Ground. Yeah, this is peculiar. Let me try doing something here. Let us, you guys know it's always interesting here. Let's see. Let's get rid of our ground handling. Let's go drive away all on that. Let's turn the APU generator on. Drew Stone 77, what's good, my friend? As usual, we just here kicking it. Okay, so for whatever reason that ground crew stuff interferes with this, so there must be some type of redundant code that it doesn't like, or whatever the case may be. Let's put the GPU on. I'm just curious. It still doesn't give us any external. That's okay. We're just going to run the APU, guys. We got 26.9 in there, but we got to make this quick. Let's see. So all the navs are on. Let's see what we got here for. Okay, so the IRS should still be in alignment, but just in case, let's go ahead and double check that there. Okay, so it didn't do what we needed to do. Let me just double check and make sure these are on, which they are. So if this is the least of our problems, that's no worries. Okay, there we go. So we lost a little bit of power. That's no issue there. So while that's aligning, let's go ahead and start working on our route. Of course, we are at the wonderful JFK. I don't know why I was about to put LAX in there. And we're going to Charlotte, of course, folks. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope you're doing good, Drew. You always support everybody, man. So we definitely appreciate it. Drew, sure, man. How's your day going, bro? How did everything go today? All right, so now we need to go ahead and take a look at the weather really quick. We'll be flying today at 34,000 feet. Just about to check this weather here, so we can ascertain what our best runway is going to be. Right now, the winds are out of the south at 15 knots. Altimeter is 2980. And so if they're out of the south, okay, they're out of the south, guys. Looks like we can pick a runway that works for us. Again, we don't have any ATC right now, so we're going to use that to our advantage. So let's see where we're at here on our setup. Okay, as you can see, we're at the international terminal here. And I meant to get parked at gate 37 for the flight, but I don't know which terminal it was, so I just picked any gate 37, and so it looked like it was this international one. So it looks like we can do 13 right, guys. That looks fine to me. Simple taxi. We can take this, it looks like Papa all the way down to Papa Foxtrot, and that should be it. We can push straight back, nose to the left, and we don't have a SID, but normally you are going to leave on some SID, so I'll just assume we're going to do the Kennedy 5 departure. And we said that was going to be from 13 right. It just says climb on assigned heading. So basically we're just going to climb on our own heading and make our own turn direct to the first waypoint. So why don't we go ahead and get that popping while we're at it. Alright. Hey, Pilot Edge on the East Coast. You know what? That's a misnomer. It's not Pilot Edge, actually. It's VATSIM. So thanks for that, Drew. Dave McKee says, she rolling. What's up, Dave? Always good to see you. And it's like Drew gave us the meter here. So again, wind 180, gusting from 15 to 22 knots. Visibility is 10 static miles. Cloud scattered 800 feet. Then more scattered clouds at 7,500 foot. Broken at flight level 250. Temperature is 23 Celsius. And the altimeter again is 29er. Looks like 81. Thanks, Drew, for that. You know you're always on point. So let's go ahead and put that altimeter in really quick. So on this thing, the altimeter is down here. Alright, 29er81. And Drew Stone says right rudder. You guys are too much. Alright, so let's get back up in here. We'll probably have to, I keep hitting the wrong button, man. I just got my setup all different now. So alright, let's go ahead and go to departure. And we said we're going to do the JFK 5 from 13 right. Okay, let's go back to the route. Basically, that's just going to give us vectors. And then our next waypoint is going to be RBV, which is a VOR. So we can take a look here. RBV, VOR. There's two of them. So I'm pretty sure it's this north. But that's what we got the flight plan for. So the VOR, which is Robbinsville, yep, north 40, so that's the one. Even though 9 times out of 10, I usually know what it is, I don't take anything for granted or just decide to overlook it, because that's when I get myself in trouble. Okay, so now we're going to do an airway, which is Quebec 430. Sorry about my voice, guys. I've been doing a lot of yelling at work. Let's see, airway, airpoint mismatch. Let's see, RBV Q430. I don't know how that can be a mismatch there. See, vectors, we're going to be direct RBV. Then from RBV, we need to hit Q430. I don't understand. See, Quebec? Maybe I typed in the wrong thing. Let's double check. Yeah, I don't know, guys. So we're just going to get rid of that, and we're going to go straight to the next fix, which is Copes. Charlie, Oscar, Pa, Echo, Sierra. At least that played nice with us. Now we're going to try to type in Q75. At least that one took it, folks. GVE. So the other one's got to be a glitch, which is okay. Sometimes those airways is only 1 point on those anyway, so or none. Let's see. Then Lima, Yankee, and Hotel. So plane is loaded, guys. We're running the APU, which I didn't plan on. So hopefully, just hopefully, let's activate that. Execute it. Now we'll do our departure. I'm sorry, our arrival. So now we need to go to the index and go to the arrival here, and we're doing the Chrysler 4 with LYH transition, of course. So let's execute that. Let's go check our legs out. After GVE LYH, we like that. Boom, boom. Let's execute. And there you go. I believe we have a good route, and then once we get closer, we'll figure out what runway that we are going to be flying into. All right, now let's go to the initial ref here. Let's go ahead and put that. We'll just put we got 6 in reserves, and our cruising altitude is 34 to the 0, and our cost index is my favorite 50. We'll go to the takeoff. We're pretty heavy today, so let me see again what my options are on this thing. 5 or 15. I'm gonna go with 15, just because that's how I'm feeling. So let's take off flaps 15. Get our center of gravity there. Let's see. There's our center of gravity. The thrust temperature, let's see, it's 23 Celsius right now, so. All right, and then of course we can select these V speeds on, and we can confirm. And I like a nice 137. The difference, if it would have been the other way, the difference between our V1 and our V rotate would have been a lot more different. So I like that. Let's come over here. Boom. We got that in there. That's all copacetic. Let me check in the chat. Let me try to be a good content creator here. Dave McKee says, big up Drew. Evening, Dre. Hope you're doing well, sir. And I am. I don't know how I missed that, but Dave, yes, I'm doing well, and thank you, sir, for checking in and always supporting as well. All right, guys, let's go ahead and close the doors. Since we already have our APU on, then we got to do our pushback. Then we can just get out of here. I mean, there's really not a whole lot of belaboring of anything. So close all. Okay, looks like they closed. And of course, we did have the GPU, but we don't need it. Let's get rid of these chocks. As you can see, we got 210 passengers on board. We have 40,000 pounds of cargo, and we have 26,950 pounds of fuel, which of course that since then has changed. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's shut the music down so we can really get to business here, and then I'll check on the chat, of course, guys. All right, who else we got here? Greenlight Auto Brokers, what's good, bro? He said, what's good, bro? Dre, you flying my favorite bird. Well, there you go. I'm doing something right tonight, Greenlight. Appreciate you guys. Of course, I'll checking in. Okay, let's go ahead and finalize this thing. Let's do our better pushback quick. Let's go ahead and pre-plan it. It always takes the pause, so I absolutely know it's not going to act right. So let's do it one more time. This is where I'll have to do this. Oh man, I messed that up. Good. Just kidding, guys. Let me do that one more time. Okay. So, I've never even been in this view, so let me escape out of here. I don't even know what that view was of the better pushback. I didn't even know you could do that view in better pushback. So, there we go. Alright, so if you guys remember, we can just push back kind of like super easy. We'll push back right there.
Round to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Yeah, Drew Stone says, Green Light Auto Brokers in the house, and Green Light Auto Brokers says, what's good, bro? You guys like that? That's a little hump day narration. Okay, so, yeah, I feel like we're missing a lot right now, but that's all right. We can get our better pushback going because we're already on the APU, so I don't know why I would sit here and waste any more fuel than we already have.
Ground to cockpit.
Let me see where we're at anyway.
Driving up.
Okay, we're still doing good on fuel. APU hasn't burnt a whole lot. Let's go ahead and get our isolation valves open. There you go. So that we get that bleed air. Boom, boom, boom. APU. Everything else is off. Let's get our non-smoking. Let's also get our EFB here again. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
let's get a little
crew would like to welcome
professionalism happen here. All right, auto smoking, boom, boom, boom. Let's go ahead and take care of that. Cockpit door, flight deck door is
okay.
Unlocked. Okay, now it's locked.
Are closed, ready to connect.
And let's go ahead and get our red beacon light on there, guys. And get the yaw damper on. Or actually, I already did. And our hydraulic pumps. We can go ahead and arm those and get those ready. Boom, boom, boom. Got our ties. Boom, boom, boom to both. All right. We can also even put in our fuel pumps. No problem there. We don't have any fuel in the center pump, so we'll leave that off. Let's climb up top a little bit more. We'll get the rest of this stuff on once we get going because we need the packs on. I'm going to come back up and check it anyway, and if I don't, shame on me. And Charlotte's landing altitude. For our pressurization, we are most certainly going to have to figure that out.
And bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Alright, let's go ahead and get that parking brake off. Get these up here. And boom, boom, boom. Alright, here's the parking brake situation right here. Parking brake is down.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Thank you for that, sir. We're going to go ahead and get that up. Again, we don't have any ATC, so we're going to end up going all the way up to our flight level 340. 2981 is the altimeter. We got to go over to the first officer side, or your side as you were. And make sure, okay, boom, let's get yours situated over here. So I always forget it's right here. Alright, 2981 is most certainly in there. Now let's look at the departure heading on the runway. So our departure heading is going to be 134. That's just runway heading. Again, we have no ATC. Oops, I passed it. What did I say? 134. I got sidetracked because I was just thinking I need to hook up my transponder, which I haven't even worried about, or the radios. Okay, so we got to hit that up for transmitting. We're already on the Unicom station. Let's get our 2200 in and TARA there. Boom, boom, boom. Everything else there is looking good. And again, we don't have any ATC to bother us with, so let's just keep rolling. Alright, so let's come up top. So our rusty dusty rotation speeds 137, climb outs at 145, and then of course we need to look at the guidelines for flaps 15. So for flaps 15, 210 is the max speed. So we're gonna put 195 in our initial climb, and we'll do a flight level change. And of course, we're gonna start out. On the heading mode.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Why was the BTC open?
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Here's Liberty Traffic Convoy, I'd say Endeavor 3098 on a...
Let's see, let me make sure my push to talk is open. Okay, so it's actually
Connected to Pilot Edge.
My push to talk is open. Let's see, let's disconnect really quick. And I absolutely don't know why we even automatically connected to Pilot Edge. This thing is glitching, you guys, man. You guys see that? So we shouldn't be on Pilot Edge at all.
Disconnected.
Disconnect. And all we have to do is come into, let's see, contact ATC is what it should be. That's the servos, that's ATC, so I'm not quite sure why it's tripping, but where there's a will is a way. Let me go into my settings of my, actually let me just close it down and restart it, my X-Pilot plugin. That's very peculiar.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time and have a great flight.
So the only thing I can think is let's switch it to a different button. Man, and it's still open, guys. I don't know what's going on here.
Connection failed. Call sign already in use.
Let's see. Connection failed. I am the call sign. Let's see. Okay, I think I got it fixed. So now that I have that fixed, guys, you know, we're not going to give up. It's always something. Let's see here. Drew Stone, lock on YouTube for the G100 tutorial. The concept is based on a book, principle, chapter, and page. That is how to navigate G1000. Davey Key, very much a startup like my 747. Do you mean G1000? Yes, sir. Okay, they're talking some side banter there. Okay, let's make sure I'm logged back on. And let's keep it moving here. Okay, we are logged back on. Boston Center's on. Philadelphia. So now we have to go back here, and I got to zero something out so it doesn't. So now here we have to edit this and pretty much type in do nothing. Okay, we're going to apply that. And let me double check. All right. Also, let me go back in here, and I'm also going to hit do nothing on this just because we don't want any problems, man. All right, we got a bunch of do nothings, even though we're about to do something. Let's go ahead and fire this bad boy up, guys. We're not playing. All right, we are pushed back. Let's go ahead and get that left engine started. So we're going to fly a runway heading, which is 134, so not much different than this.
Traffic authority 3863 down to 3000 to Lefford.
All right, let's introduce some fuel.
Right. JFK traffic.
So look at that. We're going to take off. So we're going to do a right turn is what I was trying to see. There's our next waypoint we're going to be going direct to. Alright, guys. So we also need to start the safety brief because I don't want to hear that while I'm taking off. So let's get that safety brief going, guys. You know, we got to be extra professional today.
Ladies and gentlemen,
alright,
request your full
let's go ahead
as
and
the flight attendants demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft.
Get the left engine on.
Illuminates, you must fasten your seatbelt, insert the metal
got oil pressure
one into the other, and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout.
Now keep in mind, I'm not doing any checklist, so
turbulence.
shame on me.
Boeing 767 has 8 emergency exits. 2 in the front, 2 at the back, and 2 over each wing. Please take a few moments now
Alright.
to locate your nearest exit.
Now once we're getting those on, we'll get all our generators on once those are done, but in the meantime we can get this to
If we
RTO.
need to evacuate the aircraft,
Let's go ahead and
your
arm
level
that
lighting will guide you
speed
towards
brake.
the exit.
And I think up top we went ahead and heard that click. We'll leave them on auto. Of course, now we can definitely get
with an inflatable
our packs
slide,
on.
which may also be detached and used as a life raft. Oxygen
Let's
of the
get this
air
APU
pressure
madness
are
off.
always being monitored. In the event of a decompression, an oxygen mask will automatically
There we go.
appear in
Balance
front of
itself
you.
out. We turn those
To start the
isolations
flow
off.
of oxygen, pull the mask towards you. Place it
go ahead and get our
firmly over
trimmer
your
on.
nose and mouth. Secure the elastic band behind your head and breathe normally. Although the bag does not
Alright,
inflate,
let's keep it up.
oxygen is flowing to the
We're gonna
lungs.
get
If you
our
are traveling
cab
with
air.
a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask on first, and then assist the other person. Keep your mask on until a uniformed
Alright,
crew
let's get
member
our window
advises
heat on,
you
of
to
course.
remove it.
This should have been
In the
armed a
event
while
of an
ago. We missed it, but that's why we're doing this little
please
flow
assume
here.
the racing position.
Alright,
Lean
over to
forward
the
with
left.
your hands on top of your head and your
Alright,
elbows
press,
against
that's
your
fine.
thighs.
Yaw
Ensure
damper,
your feet are flat on the
APU
floor.
generator.
A
You can
light
just leave
vest
that
is
on.
located in a pouch under your seat.
Let's go ahead and get our generators on, period.
When instructed
Alright,
to do
let's
so,
go ahead and get that
open
APU
the
off.
plastic pouch
So
and
that's going to
remove
turn
the
off, of
vest.
course.
Slip it over
Fuel's
your
still
head.
looking good
Fasten
here.
the straps around your waist
Landing
and
altitude is
adjust
definitely
the
not
vest.
that. I
To
think it's
inflate
about
the
900.
vest,
We'll,
pull firmly on the
let me
vest.
look now, because otherwise, you know what? I'm
Leave
not
the
even going to
aircraft.
pay attention to it, guys. I know
If you
myself.
need to refill the vest,
Let's see
blow into the
here.
mouthpiece.
Charlotte, where you at?
Use the whistle and light to attract attention.
Alright, I'm
Also,
looking at my
your
Navi graph,
seat
of course.
bottom cushion can be used as a flotation
Charlotte,
device.
where are you
Pull
at?
the cushion from the seat. Slip your arms into the straps and hug the cushion to your
Alright,
chest.
Charlotte's elevation
Following electronic
is, drum roll,
devices, calculators,
744. I was
CD
close.
players, laptop
I remembered.
computers
So it's
may
about
be used when the
744.
seatbelt
So we can do
sign
about
is
7,
off,
7,
when
not
permitted by the
750.
crew.
750.
Mobile telephones,
You know what I mean?
remote
Alright.
JFK Traffic, Qatari.
Alright, guys. We're doing well, man. Let's keep it rolling.
must be
Right,
turned off
JFK
at all
Traffic.
times. We remind you that this is
Alright,
a
there's our
non-smoking
valve for our Kelvin altitude
tampering
control. We
with,
put it on
disabling,
auto,
or destroying
which we
the
also have our
smoke
landing,
detectors located in the
and,
ladder that is prohibited by
let's
law.
keep it rolling.
You will
So
find
up top's
all
looking
the
good,
other
guys.
safety information in the
I don't have any
car
complaints.
located
Do
in
you?
the seat pocket
Do
in
one more
front of
up.
you. We strongly suggest
one more
you read
down.
it before takeoff. If you have any questions,
Okay.
please don't hesitate to ask one of our crew members. We wish you all an enjoyable flight. Thank you.
Just gonna wait for the Qatari traffic to land and then
Alright, FMC message, out of date. Alright guys, we said we're going to take off flaps 15, but before that, I know you guys are like, man, what's going on? He's not giving us any flight controls. I was just kidding on you guys, man. I almost honestly forgot. Alright, there's our flight controls, so we can do all of our checks. Let me check on you guys in the chat. Again, man, I've been having so many problems with my stream and stuff. I'm truly rusty. Let's see. Drew Stone says, I've tried that, asked a few people, and still can't find easy tutorial. I'll keep looking, though. Thanks. No diggity. Alright, guys, so that's taken care of here. Let's get our flight controls up and running. Okay, let's go ahead and start with that rudder. We're going to do rudder right, rudder left. Alright, center. We're going to do elevator up, elevator down. Alright, neutral. Aileron left, aileron right, and neutral. Alright, there we guys go. And let's press the brakes. Alright, exhaust gas temperature is off, so we can get rid of this now, guys. Clear that off and just stick with this. Let's go ahead and get our flaps to 15. Alright, definitely flaps are set 15. We'll wait for them to indicate. Let's go back and look and see what our trims were supposed to be. Trim is 25% CG, so we can essentially just double check that. Let's see, 2.7, because we're heavy. Alright, there's our trim, 2.7, guys. we should be good to go. I just saw something pop up in the chat. Chat says, my gamer tag is already listed in the subsection. Post your gamer tag. Dave McKee, I will make one for you, Drew. Give me a couple of days or hit me up on Mike's Disco. We can go into voice chat and do a multiplayer session. So they're doing a lot of teamwork there. You know, community's always supporting, which is lovely. Alright guys, let me get out of here. Let me just report where we're at, what taxiway we're going to, and call it a day. Okay, so again, we are going to taxi to runway 13 right. We're going to take that essentially, here, let me share the wealth with y'all. Okay, so essentially we're going to take, you know, let's see, we can come over here. Let me see what I want to do. Let's see, this is Alpha, so let's come through Hotel Bravo, hook right, hit Alpha, take right on Alpha, and I seriously think we should take Papa. So we'll take a right on Alpha and then a right on Papa here, or Bravo, whichever. It might be Bravo. Oh, okay, so it's Bravo, then it turns to Papa right here is what it is. So, and then we'll take that all the way down to Papa Foxtrot. So Hotel Bravo, leaving the ramp, Alpha, right on Bravo, merge to Papa, all the way down to Papa Foxtrot. And I bet you guys didn't know I was a ground controller, did you? Because I'm not, just messing with you guys. That's what I do. Anyway, so let's do that. Let's go ahead and get our landing lights, or I'm sorry, our taxi turnoffs. And we're good to go. That's the gear, and we can go outside and, you know, just make sure that we are truly official. So I believe we are. Boy, she looks good. Alright, so there we go. JFK traffic, American 318 leaving the ramp, will be taxiing to runway 13 right via Hotel Bravo, Alpha, Bravo, Papa, or JFK traffic. Alright, so no V speeds, that's a problem. Let's see, I thought we confirmed those. Why is it saying no V speeds? That's curious. See, they're in there. Let's see, select off, select on, let's reconfirm those. There we go. So the V speeds have been confirmed again. I don't know why it said that. Alright. Okay, it still says no V speeds.
Qatari 3863 clear for the runway 22 right.
Alright, I don't know what's going on with the no V speeds, but let's just double check the other FMS and make sure that we don't have to do anything there as well. Maybe we have to do them both. And then I'll double check to see vectors, V speeds are in there. It's still saying no V speeds, so we'll see, guys. I don't know exactly what's going on here. Let's look at the command and control. Manual, no worries. We'll figure it out, guys. There's always something, right? And we got our heading, we got our flight plan in here. Okay, it's all good. Alright guys, without further ado, here we go. We already announced our taxi, so now we're gonna roll and look for Hotel Bravo. Let me get my Navigraph up here. Alright, Navigraph's up. Gotta turn it up nice for a blind dude. That's me. Alright guys, let's go ahead and release that parking brake. Looks like parking brake was released. Alright guys, so anyway, welcome aboard. Last stream was going well, power went out. So I'm in SoCal, so that does happen sometimes. Not a whole lot, but it does. All we can do is take things with a grain of salt and keep it moving. Alright, so everything looks good here. I don't think we missed anything on the checklist. We got this there feller taking off. Okay, this should be Hotel Bravo coming up. Then we're gonna enter that and turn right here on Alpha. I'll check you guys out in the chat here if anything is being said. Hopefully we get a nice view. Let's look left because sometimes you got wild cards over here that aren't announcing on VATSIM. All right, and then we're going to do a hook boogie right here to the right. JFK traffic, American 318 is currently taxiing, merging onto Alpha from Hotel Bravo, then merging onto Bravo, merging onto Papa for runway 13 right for JFK traffic. All right.
Roger, Qatari 3863. We will on Kilo Alpha and turning left on Bravo.
Roger, Qatar 3863. This is American 318. I'll follow you after you merge on the Bravo, sir.
Roger that, sir. Have you in sight?
Copy that. All right, guys. So looks like we're just gonna follow him. He makes his turn there.
Qatari 3863, clear of Kilo.
All right. So in the meantime, as we taxi here, we can go ahead and use our EFB, and we will do a little bit of the checklist here. Let's mainly do, we don't need to do the pre-flight, of course. For taxi, that's fine. All right, takeoff, weekend packs, stabilizer trim. All right, flight controls, we did check. Cabin is secured. All right, guys, so we're good there. Not a whole lot here. I'm pretty used to flying this and the 757. I really think Flight Factor did a fine job with these aircraft, especially also giving it kind of like that rustic look. I think I'm gonna start saying that to my kids, like, Dad, you're so old, you know? And I think I'm just gonna say, hey man, I'm not old, I'm rustic. I got that rustic look, guys. What you guys think about that? Alright, we'll try to keep our distance from this Qatar flight there. I don't quite know if he just arrived. I don't know if he just arrived or what have you, but we'll follow right behind him anyway. I think he's probably going to turn off. Alright, let me check you guys out in the chat. My gamer tag is already Jake Lewis. Hey, what is going on, Jake Lewis? Thanks for joining the stream, my brother. Hope you're well. Hope your hump day was good. Got a little hump day flight action going on here. Everybody have a good day at work today, or chilling at home, or taking care of other responsibilities. Hopefully everybody is doing it fine in this COVID environment. 13 right. I'm just checking my VOR left. All right. Let's see, Dave McKee, it is just arrived. He is on the wrong taxiway. Oh, he just arrived. Got you. He's on the wrong taxiway. Got you, Dave. Dave McKee says arrivals should taxi on the inside taxiways besides the ramp. Got you. So he should be like on Alpha then, is what you're saying, Dave, is from what I'm understanding there. He should be on Alpha heading in, doing what he's going to do. I'm still tripping on this no V-speeds message coming up, and we already confirmed our speeds. It literally says complete, so I'm hoping that's not going to be an issue. If not, we'll just basically hand fly or monitor the throttles ourselves, do it that way. All right, Dave says he should be to the right of you. Correct, on Alpha, which is going now. So, you know what, Dave? I ain't gonna lie. I probably made that mistake before. You know, I didn't know all the protocols for there. So, I'll do like 10 push-ups for you, and thank you for that. I mean, I figured that out now, but I know for sure in the past I've made those mistakes without a question. Not even a question in my mind. All right, back to Navigraph. We're cruising right along. We got quite a ways to go. All right, I'm going to pick up the taxi a little bit now that he is kind of clear out of there. Now, one thing I do want to go down here and look at is to make sure when, right, HSA, weather, traffic. It's on takeoff, okay. All right. One thing we missed was our flight directors, guys. Actually, let's see if it'll let us do flight level change. There we go. All right, this is officially Papa now. Actually, you know what? Let's do for our vertical speed. About 2,400. There we go. That'll give me some type of profile, and then we're going to be basically doing a right turn direct to RBV. I'll probably just hit direct and let the nav take care of it, though, since we are totally flying without ATC. Alright, still says no V speeds in there. Interesting. But we know what our V speeds are. So, based off of our weight and all that stuff, and our trims are set. And Dave says as he has made those mistakes too, I'm assuming. We all do. No big deal. Alright, let me just double check a few things here on this departure. Try arming auto throttle. Yeah, I'm gonna do that, Dave, at the threshold of the runway. I don't know what my thing is glitched before I hit auto throttle and the plane went crazy. It actually started taking off. But yes, I'm gonna do it really quick. If it starts doing something funny, then we'll check that out. Yeah, nothing, Dave, on that one. So it could be a glitch. I'm not sweating it. We know what our speeds are. Okay, we got our RTO. We got our speed brake, obviously armed. Flaps to 15. We're just gonna do a roll and takeoff here. See what our fuel is at here. 25.5. So we'll be departing southeast for a right turn. FK traffic, American 318 will be departing runway 13 right on a heading of 134, climbing unrestricted up to flight level 340, JFK traffic. Alright guys, it's time to do that. As soon as we get on the runway, we will most certainly, uh-oh, Dave says the weather in Charlotte is ugly. Okay, let's go ahead and arm our auto throttle once again. And we're getting ready to get that clock going. Chronometer's going. So it ought to be an interesting arrival into Charlotte then, guys. The weather's ugly, we'll deal with it. If I crash, I'll blame the weather. Alright guys, here we go. Takeoff power set. Airspeed is alive. A lot of right rudder there. I mean left rudder as you were. A lot of left rudder. Alright. We definitely hit our hit speed. Alright, remember we can't overspeed because of our flap lever. Alright, gear is up, or on its way up. JFK traffic, American 318 climbing, clear runway 13 right. Alright guys, let's go one stage, flaps up. Keep our speed right here. There we're over speeding, so let's come up a little bit.
Don't sink. Too low terrain. Too low.
This is all my fault.
Too low terrain. Too low terrain. Too low terrain. Too low terrain.
There we go. Just had to pitch up. That was my fault. Completely over speeding now. Let's go flaps all the way up. That was an ugly one, guys. Don't judge me on that. This thing's got some power, man. Alright, let's go ahead and go to autopilot since I got my butt kicked off on that takeoff. Alright, we're going to do flight level change there. We're going to go back to 250 though. We're still under. That was just a horrible takeoff on my part. But that's alright though. We're going to go flaps all the way up. And again, yeah, V-speeds never showed up. Of course, I overpowered the aircraft and didn't pitch up as I should have, but at least we didn't crash or anything. That we were just going a little bit too fast for our taste. So definitely a horrible takeoff. Hopefully that's not indicative of our landing. Alright, we're going to go RBV. Let's execute that, and let's come up here to the LNAV. And we're making that right turn, of course. Okay, gear is up after overspeeding. Flaps are up and clean. And RTO is back into the off position. We are direct Robbinsville, which is RBV. And let's get our runway turnoffs off. Nose wheel there, and we'll leave the landing lights on, guys. So that absolutely wasn't the best takeoff. But right now I just care about a good stream. So we're not doing too bad. Let's take a look, see. She does most certainly look official. She does look official. Let's get one more of those, guys. All right. Let's go back in and okay, she's going to be straightening herself out so we can be direct Robbinsville. Of course, we got our climb. We're above 10,000 feet very quickly. Okay, so there we go. We'll just monitor our current situation here for a second, then we'll get some music on and we'll be cruising all the way to Charlotte, guys. Alright, let me check you guys out here in the chat, see what's popping. Is that a horrible takeoff? Maybe he says ceiling 15,000 feet, lightning to the north of the field. And this is Charlotte weather that he's referring to, of course. Alright, y'all, so here we are on this hump day. Before we get the music on and popping, let's get our cruising or our climb speed up a little bit here. Let's go up to 280. She'll pitch down. Should start banking left here, so we can catch our nav line. All right, there we go. Perfect. All right, guys. So outside of a somewhat of a horrible takeoff, we're doing okay. Now, here we are, American 318, of course. So it looks like we may go into this that Boston Center airspace. I don't know if he's actually even going to make me call him. We'll see. And if he does, we will. So I suppose I should get that ready in my standby. He's 1347. All right, just in case we get the call him, because we are going to slightly pass those airspace, and we'll be making a right-hand turn, so it'll definitely, you know, we didn't get any scenery, guys. Last time I flew out of JFK, we got some awesome scenery. Let's go in the back here and see what we can see. I guess we missed it all, but that's still a beautiful view. It's amazing. Alright guys, enough of those shenanigans. Let's see where we're at. See? Doing our shenanigans. We missed the perfect time to hit our altimeter to standard. Alright, it's the standard as well. Even when we land, we'll keep our radio on what it is. And you can see our top of climb is not too far past Robbinsville, VOR. Still a little perturbed about that whole passengers back here behaving. Sit down and no drinking just yet. Still a little bit perturbed about the V-speed's not going in, even though it's not a huge issue. I'm just curious. It's never happened to me before. And then hopefully after these announcements, we'll go ahead and jump that music on for you guys. See what we got in the chat here. 1,500, not 15,000 is what Dave is saying. Thank you for that. And you're absolutely right. I'm just glancing at it really quick, Dave. Shame on me. Maybe I need to get these things reviewed. At any rate, guys, we're going to be up and cruising here. Flying time is only an hour and 26 minutes, in which we've clearly been putting some work in on the time already with our chronometer going. All right, 23,800, approaching 24,000 on flight level 240. See here, we're still climbing pretty good with a vertical speed at 2150. And of course, we got Robbinsville in 15 nautical miles, and then Copes. So it's funny, they wanted this to be that airway that wouldn't get put in when I was programming FMC, so that should also marry up with the airway. I doubt there was any more points on there between there, and if there was one, it was probably right smack in the middle, which would have kept you linear on that line anyway. Alright guys, I don't know what you guys think, but I think everything's under control, so we can be a little careless and put some tunes on. So, hopefully, we can finally finish the stream without any issues of the power, the internet situation has totally been solved. Again, that was my fault. It really never was the internet. It was my computer basically had a bad network adapter. And then the last stream, we had a little bit of bad luck with the power outage. Mall Gaming 101, how long is the flight you're doing? It's an hour and 26 minutes, and we started our chronometer, and it looks like we're 11 minutes into the flight. If you can see here, so we probably got about another hour and 10 minutes or so. That's low ball, and we'll say an hour and 15 minutes to go. There's the chronometer reporting 11 minutes, so Mall Gaming 101, thanks for joining, and about an hour and 10 to 15 minutes or so to go until we land. Total flying time is an hour and 26 minutes. Yeah, so hopefully we get a, stream that behaves today. Let's take it this wonderful view. Look, it's still nice and green down there. Alright, now we're direct Copes, no worries. We look at the weather for Charlotte, since Dave has made me quite interested in what that would look like. Anybody got big plans for the weekend? Who's doing the F&O tomorrow? I'm going to try to, not tomorrow, I'm sorry, Friday. Tomorrow's Thursday. Who's going to do the F&O on Friday? I'm going to try to do it now that my setup of everything is all complete. I'm going to try to jump on and do the F&O. I don't even know what it is. We're going to take a look at that here in a minute. So visibility in Charlotte and the weather is bad. It's not optimal. Although it's not at its worst because it's still modified VFR according to FlightAware. But it's not a full IFR situation, so it's in that little gray area, I guess. So it ought to be interesting, especially with those gusting winds. So we'll see how we do. All right, let's go ahead and go into our mock setting now. Keep it about Mach 7.8 for our climb, since this bird can handle it. We got less than 1,000. Well, as it stands now, we got less than 1,000 to go. And then we'll be as high as we need to go, guys. We'll be as high as we need to go. All right. Dave McKee says, what is the F&O? Mall Gaming says, that's nice, getting ready for a 1400 flight using a 777-200 LR. Mall Gaming 101, you are the man. That's a nice little long flight there. Are you flying on VATSIM Mall Gaming? And Dave, let's get to the F&O. All right, we're leveled out. And let's increase our speed a little bit before we get into the F&O. This usually cruises at about 0.80 Mach. So we'll step it up. All right, VAT USA, where are you? All right. So it looks like we're doing ALB John F. Kennedy National Airport, which is funny because that's where we just left. How funny is that? So Friday Night Ops is the John F. Kennedy National Airport where we just left. So maybe we'll fly back in there. Let's click on that event, get more details. Date and time is Friday the 10th, 7 p.m. Eastern, which is 4 p.m. Pacific, and 11 p.m. or 8 p.m. Pacific. This is a 3-hour difference, so which is they usually started at 4 Pacific or 7 East Coast time. All right, so that's what the F&O is, guys. Out of the same airport that we left, ironically. Go figure. That's usually something like that's usually my luck. Dave says I'll pass on that one. Mall Gaming 101 says I've never tried VATSIM before. Actually, I'm thinking about trying it out though. You know, I think it's a good experience, Mall Gaming, especially if you don't want to use artificial AI and you want the actual, a more immersive feeling of the chaos, you know, throughout the whole process. Then VATSIM is definitely a place to go. And, you know, folks on there are very professional and are passionate about, you know, controlling and ensure that the community follows the rules. So I think it's a great experience. I personally have enjoyed VATSIM, and I've been VATSIMing for, jeez, before I even had a computer that could really do it. So we're talking 04, 05 time frame. Even I remember where I used to text them, which obviously we can still do that, but I didn't have a rig strong enough to, you know, support VATSIM flying for the voice chat. Obviously now things have changed considerably, so but I think it's good, you know, online flying experience to do something like VATSIM, or what's the other one, IVAO, or even do a paid prescription to Pilot Edge, which you will definitely do some learning on that one. You have no choice, because they will, just like VATSIM too, but they're extra strict and on it with the Pilot Edge. So all right, so not a whole lot going on here. This song's kind of quiet. What do you guys think? Let me switch it to something else. All right, just messing with those volumes a little bit. Dave McKee, just don't join the F&O. Mall Gaming 101, it can be very overwhelming when you're new to VATSIM. I second that, Dave. I definitely second that. I'm not even quite sure if I'm going to do the F&O. I might fly to LaGuardia or something else, but maybe not necessarily into the F&O destination. And Dave, you're really good about reminding us, or you reminded me when I do an F&O, pick maybe a different airport so it isn't so busy and it's manageable. So I totally agree with that. Before I really knew what I was doing on Batson, my biggest desire, oh yeah, I'm going to fly every event. I'm going to be, meeting other pilots, getting trained basically by way of experience. But then it turned out to be I'm having super long wait times when I just want to fly. And once you're in the air, there's no guarantee that you're even going to land anywhere near your prescribed flight time. You're going to be in a pattern, or they're going to turn you left, right. So I can see both perspectives of how people use VATSIM and whether they want to start out heavy or take it light. And Dave is definitely recommending to take it light. So for sure, let's go ahead and take a look at our progress page here. Alright, so we're going to be at flight level 340 for quite some time. On the arrival, this fix here got us out of flight level 340 and 0.750 Mach, so we've got a little ways to go. If you add all these up cumulatively, 20 and 40, so 62, 75, 83, 85. Oh yeah, plus all this, so we're going to be up here for at least a few minutes. Nothing too crazy. Ball Gaming says, today, Miki, totally. One of my main worries is communicating with ATC, but it sounds like a great experience. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, guys, we're here cruising along. Let me double check the VATSIM scope. We are doing good. That's all I have to say. We basically are passing K-Phil, or Philadelphia, right off our left wing or so. But I just know that so far so good, and like I said, I'm interested to see how that weather treats us once we get to Charlotte. Alright guys, so we're cruising, we're up and at 'em. I'm going to step away for a split second. I gotta rehydrate myself. I totally forgot to bring my water into my workspace here today, so I'm going to jump up, grab some water. But we're cruising here. Flight level 340. We are direct to Zachary, and we're headed all the way down to Charlotte Douglas in North Carolina. So let's cruise along, and I'll be back with you guys in a second. Let me go get some wonderful hydration, and I'll be back with you guys. In the meantime, why don't you hold the fort down for me, please and thank you. Alright guys, I stepped away for more than a little bit. Just make sure everything is good here. And I have most certainly returned. As a pilot, as a sim pilot, you not only deal with flying issues, you got to deal with kid issues too. Got plenty of those. Okay, here. Let's see. We got a lot of chatter here. And looks like Mall Gaming 101 and Dave McKee are having a little conversation there. Like we're getting Mall Gaming 101 to potentially be on VATSIM. So we'll see if that happens. And if you do Mall Gaming, then hey, let us know if you need any help. I'm gonna get a lot better about doing giveaways and Discord and all that stuff. But I do have a Discord which I'll start throwing in next time. So if you have any questions, you know, you can feel free. Feel free at any point. Alright guys, let's start looking at our progress here. Okay, top of descent. We still have 173 2 nautical miles to go. So still a little ways out. Now, my Zulu time in here is obviously not what it really is right now because we're flying at night, even though I'm using daytime so we can see what's going on. But if we want to calculate our potential rest of our travel time, we got here 1906 Zulu. So we're looking at not that much longer. We're supposed to get there in 1906. Let's see, 1846. Let me check that again. So we should be there under an hour because here's 1929 is when it's got us getting in there. And so about 40-something minutes or so. So not doing too bad, guys. Let's go back and take a quick peek in the cabin. Such a beautiful view there. All right. Let's see. Will Burke says he just buttered a landing into Seattle, Tacoma Airport. Will Burke, you the man. Hopefully, let me extend my hands. I want you to go ahead and throw some butter on mine so I can throw it on the controls and get your butter as well. Actually, I'll toot my own horn. I did butter this aircraft last time, so that's probably the reason I'm not going to butter it today. I'm just messing around. I appreciate you sharing that with us, Will Burke. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us, of course, and everybody who's on board today. Thanks for joining us here on the Dre Sanchez YouTube channel. We want the channel to grow. We want to keep flying and we want to keep driving. So let's just keep doing it, guys. God's blessings, we'll wake up and do it as much as possible. So, yeah. So I live in Cali, somewhere in SoCal, right? Somewhere. And for this September, it has been extremely warm. I know, Dave, you're up in Canada. I don't know where everybody's at. But how's the weather for you guys? It's awfully peculiar for it to be this hot during this time of the year, although it's not unheard of. We've seen the floods, we've seen, you know, the earthquakes and stuff. So wherever you guys live, in the chat, let me know, how's your weather? Is it status quo, all good, everything's normal, or do you see some peculiar changes in your weather behavior as well where you live? So let me know if you guys are interested in having that conversation. Only a year into flight sim and I can fly the toeless A319 very well. Think I should join VATSIM or Pilot Edge, Will Burke says. Well, Will Burke, the first thing I would recommend is joining VATSIM. VATSIM is free. The software on both of those platforms is free, but I would definitely say that I would definitely join VATSIM first and get used to that, because when you go to Pilot Edge, they are the true real deal, meaning VATSIM doesn't necessarily use frequencies on the charts, although you use the charts in order to do your departures, arrivals, your ground handling, NOTAMs, obstacle departures, all that good stuff. But they don't use the real frequencies. But when you change a controller on VATSIM, you actually switch a person. Pilot Edge, they do use all the frequencies. They do also have the radio tuning to where if you're farther away from the station, you'll get more static and so on and so forth. However, one controller can cover multiple air traffic control centers and departures and arrivals, or approach and departure, ground, and clearance. But they do it where you think you're talking to multiple people, you're talking to the same person. I had to kind of get used to that at first, because I do like VATSIM, the fact that when you say, all right, we'll see you next time, you actually not talking to that controller anymore. So VATSIM is good, in my opinion, way better for actual multiplayer traffic and events and your overall learning. You got a lot of people in VATSIM, like I said before, that are super dedicated. So I say start VATSIM first. Once you get used to that and you want to go on the Pilot Edge, I recommend taking their training course. Okay, you got your CAT and your eyes. The CATs are your VFR training. The eyes obviously is your instrument training. I've done them all. I'll show you guys all the tests I've taken on there. It's a challenge. It's a challenge, and they hold you accountable like they do in VATSIM. So, I say do both if you can. But I'd say start with VATSIM. And honestly, if Pilot Edge wasn't there, I would still, hands down, only use just VATSIM. It's great. Pilot Edge is great too. I have nothing but, they are what they are, and I use them accordingly. Will Burke says, I'm in the Midwest Strait. It's been hotter than normal this summer. Will Burke, I used to live in Minnesota. I'm a military man, and I used to live in Minnesota, and it got pretty warm there, so I feel you on that one. Dave McKee says, biggest differences between the two is Pilot Edge or FAA licensed controllers. Dave, spot on. And I've actually met them. Hopefully I get to see them again at the Flight Sim Expo. I met Keith and a bunch of the controllers at Flight Sim Expo in 2018 when it was in Las Vegas. Dave McKee says they don't tolerate mistakes as much as controlling VATSIM would. I totally agree, Dave. Totally agree. And that's why I think starting with VATSIM is your best bet. Simply because you will, on both, they're going to also help you. So on Pilot Edge, they'll help you too. They just have, like Dave says, way of a less tolerance. If you make too many mistakes over and over and you are just not getting it after even they tried to help you, they're going to tell you that they're going to recommend you take the pilot training program. Then after that, if you come on again and they notice certain things, they will literally tell you that they will not allow you back onto the network unless you complete the pilot training program. So there's that. And trust me, every day that I get on Pilot Edge, I'm like, what am I going to get yelled at for today? Not that I make mistakes all the time, but I'm not a real world pilot. I'm sure I'm going to make a mistake somewhere, and I do sometimes, and they call me on it, but I like it. I was in the military for many years, so hey, the old saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and that's the truth. Because if you make big mistakes on VATSIM or Pilot Edge, the controllers are going to let you know. And I think that's where you do most of your growth from. Not necessarily that you got to make mistakes, but when you do, those are the ones that you're definitely going to remember how to try to avoid, if you will. All right, guys, we're not doing too bad here. Let's increase the range of our, so that we can actually see top of descent coming up. Now let's check our FMC. We use this side over here. Okay, so you guys can clearly see that our first noticeable change in our cruise is right here. So with that being said, let's pull in Navigraph and kind of go to work. Let me check out something really quick. Let me give you guys a view there. And let me... So we're doing the Chrysler for arrival. So let's do some planning here, guys. Come on, you can do it. Alright, so I didn't program this flight in, so you have to forgive me. And actually, I should do that quick for the simple reason then we can start planning our approaches. Alright, so we're in Navigraph here. Let's go ahead and plan our approach. First of all, let me put this flight in. Alright, so we're going to put this flight in. Going to create that. And then, of course, boom. Save it. And you can still see we're getting pretty close to our arrival. So let me refresh the winds there. Okay, so it's going to be a crosswind landing because the winds are out at 210, but I think I'm going to take 18 center. So Chrysler to approach. Okay, so let's go. Let's plan on ILS 18 center. Okay, so as you have it, this is literally what we would do. Let's click on this waypoint and see what it is. Let's show the waypoint labels. Let's make it a little bigger. So there's Jedco. So it's going to be nice to go straight to Lurdy, even though we're going to plan from Jedco, not final, when we get a little bit closer. Once we get direct, I'll make those changes. So we can also take a look at what 18 center looks like. Plenty of runway. Let's look at it with reference to the field. And then we'll take our parking gate and make sure that works better for us. We're supposed to be at B4 for this flight. And I got that from typically American doesn't even use a Boeing 767 to do this route. I just wanted somewhere to go. So I did it. So I don't even know if Bravo 4 is appropriate, but it's going to be appropriate today. So we set the center runway, which is here, and Bravo 4 is here. So that's go set it, guys. I mean, even if we used 18 left, it'd be fine too. This is orientated north, so we'll be coming in this way, top down, on in, which is why I like it, and then we can get off. And finally, let's look at the Chrysler 4. Let me just minimize this really quick. Let me check the chat, and we'll make sure the aircraft isn't doing something funny. All right. Will Burke says, or asks, one last question. What are the system impact of, say, bad summer Paladins from your experience? Computerized. David Key says, hard to say. Most on Paladins run their client plus are running ForeFlight or Garmin Pro. Right. In my case, I'm not running either of those. I'm using Navigraphs. I'm very interested. I might get ForeFlight. I do like ForeFlight. I don't think there's much of a difference, to be honest. I fly them both in my FBS and my system. I haven't ran the ForeFlight or the Garmin, but I run the Navigraph charts, active charts, and it seems to be okay. Anyway, back to business, okay? So we said that first noticeable. So we're coming in here from Lynchburg. This is our transition point. And the first noticeable, our descent starts here at Willard or Wallard, whatever this is. And then Blue Jay, and then here you guys see we've got some serious constraints at Burrs. 280 knots, got to be between flight level 270 and 240. Anywhere in there between, doing that speed and so on and so forth. We are planning for the 18 or a southern landing. So from this waypoint here, we must then go on track to No-Do, which is here, and then on to Heels. Let me see, where is that? Oh, I started reading the wrong one. That's the problem. No, I did No-Do and then Heels. So boom and boom, and then that's it. And then from hills on track 270, expect radar vectors to final approach course. So that's super easy. So from SPLA, we should only have to add no, do, and hills. So let's see if we need to do that. So there's SPLA. So let's add the 2 points that we need, which is no do, and then after no do we need to add hills. Now, normally you would, have to wait a little bit longer for ATC to kind of tell you what you're doing, and before we confirm those, no dues is, let's plan for no dues at 8,000. Speed is at 230. And then at hills, we need to be 210, 6,000. All right, guys, so we're good. So the bottom of our descent, as you see, is 6,000. So we can go ahead and even get the MCP set up on that. You guys can clearly see we're direct Lynchburg right now. Just programming in 6,000. So when the time comes, we can do our BNAV. So I just set it up on BNAV, so now we are good to go. Change our range. So we're not doing too bad, guys. We'll be starting our descent very shortly. Let's come over here and check the progress page. Actually, it's still on this side. 61 nautical miles. So we're doing well, guys. Let me check you guys out in the chat. I fly using Active Sky and X-Plane and Rex 2020 and Microsoft Flight Simulator plus XRAS and landing rate monitor, etc. on X-Plane. When you play VATSIM, does it matter if you get some mods, plugins for weather and whatnot? I've got mods, guys. I've got, I'm running Active Sky with the live real-time weather. Also, too, Mall Gaming 101, it also really depends on your rig. But, you can put your flight plan in here, which I thought I did. I didn't, so let's do that. And I usually just do VOR to VOR. So that'll give us our updated weather, which is updating now. I also use the landing rate monitor. And I'm going to buy a new computer, even though this one could run it just fine, but this one's got so much on. I'm going to buy a new computer probably the next week or so from a Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, which I have purposely not put on because although I am a diehard Microsoft fan, that's how I started my flight sim game all the way back in Flight Simulator in 1998, so on and so forth, 02, 04, 09, FX9, FX10, all that stuff. But I just knew that it had some serious glitches and a lack of mods when it first came out, even though I'm super amped up. My dad has it about the scenery and they're continuing to improve. Obviously, they will. So I'm excited to get it now. I'm actually excited. The rig I'm running now is an i7. The next one I guess is going to be i9. So kind of pumped up about that. Okay, guys. So let's refresh the weather here. Still 210, 9 knots. Broken 1300 overcast. 10,000. 10 miles of visibility. It's modified VFR. Altimeter is 2986 with a temperature of 23 degrees Celsius, as you were. And so yeah, that's looking good. So essentially what we can do now, since that's pretty much in the cards for us, I'm going to go over to the approach chart and go ahead and type in our ILS. So we're definitely going to want that with this weather we're expecting. So for ILS localizer runway 18 Charlie, it's 111.3 for the frequency. .111.3 with the final approach course of 183. Keep in mind, I haven't even programmed the aircraft to land on that yet until we get a little closer. Because you know that's subject to change anyway. 183 on the final approach course, 111.3 for the frequency. Everything else is good here. Still working towards the, excuse me, I gotta have a little libation here. I'm not a huge carbonated drinker. I'm a little tired today. Life, work, and kids, so I decided I need a little spot of caffeine. I'll never even finish that, probably. Although it is quite tasty. I might finish it today. My wife is totally like, if I want to make her day, Pepsi all the way. Pepsi all the way. Alright, Geo, what is cracking, my man? I have the itch to get back on Pilot Edge, LOL. I feel you, Geo. It's real, you know, it's real. I'm going to stay with Pilot Edge just because I've had Pilot Edge for years now. I mean, it comes out of my account, boom. Some months I don't even use it, to be honest with you. But I know when I want to fly with some hardcore ATC, it's always there. That's what I love about Pilot Edge. To me, that's also a huge benefit of Pilot Edge. Those cats from 8 to 11 on Pacific Standard Time, which obviously those times are different on the East Coast, they're there. You know you're going to log on and you're going to get some ATC. What I've noticed about VATSIM over the past couple of years, it's equally as fun to fly even with no ATC, because now we're able to use the Unicom frequency to talk to each other. I don't know if you guys remember a time, which you probably do because most of you have been flying on VATSIM for quite some time. You guys remember when you could only text on the Unicom frequency, which for years I was saying, I don't know why they don't let us talk. Now that they do let us talk, I also find that equally immersive, even though they're not controllers or anything, just the fact that we get to communicate and operate as if the fields are uncontrolled towers, which happens even McCarran. I mean, aircraft can land and all that good stuff. The tower doesn't have to be there in order to land and operate on the ground. So that's where pilot responsibility comes into place, to know how to communicate within the spectrum of just being pilots, to know how to avoid each other in crashes. So, there you go. Let's do a little flyby here and mess around here for a second. She's definitely clean. It's definitely a clean aircraft. Love it. Boy, look at that scenery. So green down there. Because of the sun, the other side definitely view, plus the clouds below. All right, back on board because we're getting ready to start our top of the sea, guys. We check the old rusty, dusty VATSIM scope. Alright guys, here we are. This is the weather that we're talking about, and as you guys can see, Charlotte is on. We've got another gentleman, Matthew Bryan, headed to Charlotte. He looks like he's going to get there before I am, and you can hear that top of descent started, so let's stop messing around now. Alright, aircraft is slowing to prepare to pitch down for our top of descent, guys. We should be on the ground within hopefully 20 minutes. Or 26. Remember, the flying time was an hour and 26 minutes. We're right at 59 minutes, guys. So about 20 to 30 minutes and we should be on the ground, but it should be a little bit more eventful now. Now let's come down here and just double check if we don't have any speeds that don't make sense. 285, 280, 280, 270, 270, 250, 250, 240, 230. The reason why I'm doing that, and you guys have been there, all of you, I know you have, there's times you go check your FMC, your waypoints are in there, you're happy, you're pumped up, and you notice the altitudes and the speeds are off, and you got to go fix it. Charlotte Tower is on, so I'm going to put him in as a backup frequency. End ground is on. Hour is 18.1. Alright, and ground 21.9. There we go, 21.9. So we're on the Chrysler 4. Not doing bad at all. I don't remember that altimeter. Two 986. Let me write that down. Check you guys out in the chat. All right. Captain Geo says that he is back. My man, hey Geo, hey man, we still gotta get on this ATS convoys. I'm itching. I probably won't. Well, I don't know, because the setup doesn't take long, but it's just, you know, switching your controllers out when you get to your setup. But I'm thinking about maybe doing something this weekend with ATS. I doubt I'll do something tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, and then Friday's the FNO, which I'm thinking about doing. But you never know. We got to definitely do some ATS for sure. Geo, do you do Euro Truck Simulator too? Question mark. That's how you do it. That's how you do a question mark in the air. In case you guys were wondering. Okay, so let me know when I'm free all day Saturday. Oh, Geo, hey, we might have to hook up, bro. Seriously thinking about getting on it Saturday, so that's actually a good sign. I'll be thinking about that. Hey, make sure Mama Shark don't get on me either, eh? I don't want no, shoes. I know you be getting the shoe. And I'll check with my old lady and make sure, hey, me and Gio might be doing some trucking. I got to get on those sound mods too, man. Got you, just ATS, full up there. And I got Euro Truck Simulator years ago and didn't even mess with it. Then I got ATS and drove ATS way more than Euro Truck Simulator, but I like them both. I probably like ATS way better. I like the American trucks better, not from a European American standpoint. I just like big, beefy sounding trucks with angry Jake brakes on them. You hear me? But Europe, they got their own nice sounds too. The Scanias and the Mans and all that stuff. I do enjoy them. Those little trucks are pretty powerful. When I was overseas, I was pretty amazed at what they could do for looking so small. And I think they built those little trucks right, So, I mean, how far up the trailer goes on the fifth wheel, and then it's usually flat, so they can really have a bigger load utilizing a smaller amount of space. Here in the United States, sometimes we have no regard for size, and we just using resources and taking up more space. But I'm guilty. I'm American, so. But my hat's off to, Europe. They find ways to use less resources and still be just as efficient. So I don't drink alcohol, guys. Never really been a big drinker. So here's to you, Europe, for the G2 Summit and for using less resources, because everyone sees now climate change is real. Just let you guys know I'm running for president next term, so vote for me. Oh, by the way, that's president of my household. My wife's still in charge of me. She says he's the president. I don't know if you guys thought I was talking about president of the United States, but I wouldn't even want that job. Couldn't pay me enough to do that job. All right. We are cruising right along here, guys. Okay, so runway length, as stated previously, is 10,000 feet. So what that's telling me, man, is I'm gonna do auto brake. We'll do auto brakes 2 on this one. That's how confident I am. Actually, we'll do auto brakes 3, and we won't land full flaps. How about that? Checking on that range. So once we go hills, I don't know if you guys remember, we need to be flying heading up 270. Alright, there we go. Gotta stay extra still with this Truckin stuff, man. I used to pause it. You can program pause and recorrect. But sometimes, as recent, I was pausing it and it was freezing up. So I'm like, I had to set another view up just so it wouldn't do that. And this is Truckin 5, of course. Alright. So, we're coming in south. The terminal we need to get to is on the left, so we're going to land south, 18 Charlie, left, over to gate B4 in the Bravo concourse course. All right, guys, altimeter is 2986. I'm going to go ahead and throw that in now. All right, and we're at 18,000, so we can go ahead and do our due. All right, 2986. It is getting real. All right, let us go with music off. We'll restart that song when we come back. All right, latest and greatest in Charlotte. Another way to look at the this screen here, info screen, I think it's this one. I'm not even going to do it. I'm scared it's going to do something to it, but there's another way you can look at the matter through that too. It includes it, but I'll just share it with you guys this way as well. Okay, recent Charlotte is what we're looking at, and we'll refresh it once again just to make sure. There it is. Out of the south. View, scatter, broken, overcast, 1,000, 1,800, 5,000, 30,000, flight level 250, visibility is 10 miles, temperature is 23 degrees Celsius, altimeter, what we just put in, 2986, density altitude 1,767 feet. All right, so once we get direct to Keels, we're most certainly going to program in our runway information. It's asking for some drag. Let's give it just that. I don't think we need that much. You see those spoilers out, slowing us down. All right, drag is back in. Speed brake is armed once again. Charlotte traffic, American 318 at 13,260, descending via the Chrysler 4 direct. The Chrysler expecting full stop runway 18 Charlie for Charlotte Douglas traffic. All right. We have another speed restriction. So I got the spoilers back out, of course. All right, spoiler back armed. Once we get to 10,000, of course, we will do what we need to do in terms of our lights and getting ready. Meantime, let's get this bad boy out.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a few minutes our aircraft will land land at the destination airport. For your safety, we ask you to remain seated until the aircraft comes to a complete stop and the fasten seatbelt sign is turned off. When preparing to depart, please make sure to take all your personal belongings with you. Attention international travelers.
All right, descent reservation recall checked.
Follow the signs to international transit.
Okay, recall has been checked. Landing data VREF, let's do that now, and then approach briefing will be complete. So I said we're not going to land full flaps. We're going to do it right here at flaps 25. So there's our VREF 143 plus we'll add 8. So we're going to be landed about 151, 152-ish. There's no runway information here just yet because we haven't put it there. Right now we're going direct SPLA, then no-do, then hills. Alright, back out on the spoiler so we can bleed some speed. Coming in. Hopefully not too hot. Alright, we're right at the 10,000 mark, guys. You know what that means. That means, alright, speed brake is once again armed. That means we need some landing lights, man. Alright, leg start edge. FMC message, drag required. That's the story of our life. Drag required. So like I said, once we get direct hills, it'll be money in the bank for us. Then we'll go ahead and do it. I believe it was from Jedco, even though we're not going to do Jedco per se right away. We're going to do, I believe it was Lindy. Let me go ahead and double check on that. Lurdy. It was Lurdy. Not to be confused with Nerdy. Alright, so we're getting ready to make our turn here. So, and then on the VNAV, 210, 6,000. Landing flaps 25, guys. Heading mode has been activated, so now we can do what we need to do. Alright guys, we're going to come in here to our departure, and we're already there. We're going to select 18 Charlie from Jedco. We're going to execute that. Now we're going to come back over here, and I want to put this there, execute that, and then now we just go right back here to LNAV. I love it when it's like Burger King our way. All day long. Alright, so we're going to go direct to Lurdy. So let's make sure that we most certainly start slowing our speed back a little bit in preparation for the excitement. Now that we've got that handled, my fine folks, Lurdy is supposed to be at 6,000. Fursa is at 6,000. So we're pretty much at a good little cruising altitude right here. We'll go ahead and $2,400 is the last altitude before that 3 degrees glide slope. As you can see here at Silo at 170, so that's about right. 3,000 and above at Ozeji, Hagel should be at 4,000. Very good. We got to check it, so on and so forth. And I'm doing all this so I can just program in what we need to program in, which I don't even need the full 2400, but I'm going to put it in there. All right, so we'll be here for a minute. Let's go ahead because of our speeds and go to flaps 1. And we'll go all the way to flaps 5 actually. That's at 230. That'll help us to maintain any type of drag there. As you can see, it was just on the cusp. We had that horrible takeoff where I oversped the aircraft. Other than that, it was okay. But we definitely were speeding rockets on my takeoff, so shame on me for that, guys. Okay, so VNAV took control. Actually, let's go back up to about 190. I didn't like what the VNAV was doing there, guys. I think I'm just going to manage it myself, because we definitely didn't need to be at our final 170 approach speed. We'll go to 190. And even at 190, we can still go to flaps 5. Then once we make our turn, we'll arm our localizer. Now if we go to our initial rep, it should definitely reflect differently. There we go. We've got our 111.3, ILS 18 Charlie. We can come down here, and we've got 111.3, so on and so forth. Check you guys out in the chat before I get ready to land. Get your landing rates in if you're going to get them in. Alright guys, so let's get back to our list of checks, known as the checklist. Okay, all this is set. That was completed on the descent. Altimeters check, nav aids set, check. Landing, cabin secure, landing gear or speed brake arm, landing gear down, flaps, so on and so forth. Standard. Alright, speed brake is set and auto brakes are to 3, just because we're landing at a lower stage of flaps. You can see our localizer is alive, so we got to make sure we hit it less than a 30-degree angle so the aircraft doesn't turn us all the way around. And we're definitely less than 30 degrees. Localizer is armed, folks. Now we can go straight into the approach mode. Let's get ready to do business here. We'll be catching that glide slope. Let me look and see what our missed approach is. Altitude, missed approach, altitude, climb to 3,000 outbound on the Charlotte VOR radio 181 to Dean intersection. Let's make sure our FMS knows about that. And then we'll set it for, see, there it is right there. So then we'll just click direct Dean up to 3,000. Okay, our VREF for this flight landing is 143 knots, so we'll make that an even 150, folks. Alright guys, we have started our final descent. Charlie Traffic American 318 is on final. Direct Tom, expecting full stop 18 Charlie for Charlotte Douglas traffic. And you know what? Let me see if that tower's on. I remember the tower guy was on. I don't know if he threw in the towel or not. He did. But ground is on. So you know what? Let's be good stewards here. And put that in there. Right. All right, guys, I got your flight controls on. See, I'm totally glad we're doing an ILS because there's no visibility here right now. Nice and easy. Once we get to 2400, that'll indicate to us that we're on that 5-mile final. Kind of give you an idea there of where we're at. All right, landing rates, get them in, folks. Landing rates, get them in. So far, we don't have any precipitation, which is a good thing. That is the good thing, folks. No precipitation. All right, the chat is all calmed. Get my rusty, dusty feet on the rudder pedals. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start having the fun. We've already did our landing checklist. Lights are most certainly all on. Doing good here, so you see if there's any final announcements we need to make. And there is not. All right, my controls. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get that approach speed. I'm going to go ahead and drop that gear. Alright, guys, we got a good visual of the runway here. It's not too bad. It's getting a little choppy here. Nothing we can't handle. Should have had my Navigraph charts up, but I don't, so we might have to come to a stop once we hit the field. Alright, a little fast here. So far I like the approach, so I hope I don't mess it up, because sometimes I have a nice approach and I mess it up. 1000 check. Alright. Whole lot of trim play here, guys. We're right at that speed.
Flight slope. Flight slope. Flight slope. Flight slope.
Alright, there we go.
Flight slope. Flight slope.
500.
Little windy. A big gust that just came under there. Probably we're way too high here, but we're going to take it anyway, guys. Definitely gonna miss those blocks. My last landing, even though it was nice, I missed.
Minimums.
I came in super high.
Flight slow.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Oh, I knew that was gonna be hard. Reverses are out. It was kind of gutsy towards the end. I knew it was gonna be a hard landing, but 373, that's not bad. Not bad, all things considered. Reversers are still on. Alright, under 80 knots, reverse free. We're not going to make this one. We'll go to the next one, of course. Auto brakes disarmed. And let me see if I can sneak over here and get my navigraph up. Alright, and it's finally starting to rain. So not the best landing, guys, but a realistic one. We didn't kill the aircraft, we didn't get a butter. I think I talked myself out of the butter earlier. Charlotte Douglas traffic, American 318 exiting runway 18 center on Echo 2 to taxi to the ramp gate Bravo 4 on Echo for Charlotte Douglas traffic. Alright guys, welcome to Charlotte. Landing lights off. Strobes off. Keep that taxi on. And APU on, guys. Let's clean it up. Oops. Those flaps are most certainly coming all the way up. I'll check you guys out in the chat here in a second. So yeah, a little rusty on that landing. Definitely can use some more practice in this baby. But last couple landings I did do very well in it, so I think the wind wasn't even all the way to blame here, just maybe a little bit of poor piloting towards the end. Alright, it says the APU generator is off, so let's get that on. And it'll remain off until we, of course, turn the aircraft off and turn those generators off. Alright, looks like flaps should be up and clean. Alright. Okay, let me see where we're at. So we're going to basically just take this all the way to... Let's take this all the way up to Foxtrot and Mike. Alright, we're speeding on the field a little bit. Let me check the chats here. Okay, landing with that weather. Thanks, Mall Gaming. I appreciate you. My back... Gio says my back, my neck, and my back hurt. Jake Lewis gave me a very good and Dave landing rates, which didn't happen. So I owe you guys better landings next time. Negative 373. Definitely not my best work, as you guys know if you've been watching the channel, but you know what? Those are realistic landings, and neck and back problems will happen. So Gio, you know, submit your insurance claim. And not to me though, to American Airlines, because they shouldn't have hired me in the first place to fly for them. Alright, here's Mike coming up, so this is the one we're going to merge off to. So no butter for your boy today, but still a very enjoyable flight, I must say. With good stream, no power outage. It was just bad flying today. Bad takeoff and bad landing. But you know what? We did it together. And somehow we made it alive. So, you know, that should count for something. You know, being alive is being alive. You know what I mean? So, me see where this gate is at again. All right, so it's going to be on this first left and second to last stand. Got it. All right, so we're going to make the next left here. Then I'll check the chat in. We'll get the replays in. And we'll be wrapping it up here tonight. Had to get it in. We might do another one tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see if my flying is better tomorrow. Alright, and of course we can bust this left right here. Again, I want to thank everybody for flying along with us today here on this American Flight 318 full service from JFK into Charlotte Douglas. Again, I don't blame the weather, I blame me. For the landing. Alright, yep, and then we're just going to hook boogie that way. Let's go all the way up top. Start getting certain things off that we don't need. Dave McKee going to call it a night. Thanks, Dave, for joining and all your tutelage as usual. You're a very valuable member of all of the Flight Sim channels. Been a long day. Thanks for the stream, Dre, and chat. Stay safe. I'm out. All right, Dave. I love it. I'm out. All right. So Bravo 4 looks like it's small area. I think we'll just pull into this guy right here. Which I think this is Bravo 4 anyway. I had got some updated scenery for this Charlotte once, but then when I came in for a landing, which is on a stream actually, and I think I named it There's No Airport. I get to the airport, there's the runways, but there's literally no buildings. Yeah, and then you know, Mall Gaming on this one, I totally should have did a go around, but and it's late, I'm tired. I knew I did the wrong thing, but you are absolutely right, Mall Gaming. All right, let's go outside really quick. Let me come to a stop. We'll go outside and see, we're on the line. I always get it on the line, but with no marshaller, you got to come outside and kind of do it this way. Mall Gaming says he's saying at the end of the threshold. Exactly right. Alright guys, parking brake is set. let's go ahead and oops. All right, that APU was running. We have officially made it all the way in, guys. Now it's time to turn off what we know we need to turn off. And we'll get into the replay for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. Again, I just want to say I appreciate everyone hanging out tonight on any and all of my streams. Couldn't do it without you guys. Wouldn't want to do it without you guys. So sounds like we're a good team here, even though my flying could be improved, which it will, All right. Do. Yes, we know, my friend. Of course, I forgot to get that. We didn't have a marshaller, so usually that reminds me to turn that taxi light off on them. And we needed to get the red beacon off. And welcome it in, guys. Let's also don't forget to get our transponder off. And man, let's go take a look and get right into the replay. There we are, guys. Prim and proper at the gate. Somehow, some way. We keep doing it. We keep doing it. Let's see something here. So we're off. For whatever reason, VATSIM is still saying that we're connected in mode C, which we're not. You guys saw me take it off. But it doesn't matter anyway. Because we're just about to do the replay, lick our wounds for the day, and get this replay all the way in. You get rid of some of the stuff that you don't need. That would be including me. Let's get right into the replay. All right, so let's get into the thick of it. Into the thick of it. All right, here's what we most certainly look like on approach. You can see we're doing some pitch work there. Yeah, that's where I had dropped some speed. Had to power up a little bit to keep that nose up. She was looking official. Definitely floated it, definitely missed the blocks, definitely should have been a go around. That's where I was looking for the butter, but did I do? I mean, you know, it was a little bounce. At least it was in the center of the runway and we kept the nose up. For whatever reason, on my replays, the surfaces are no longer replayed, meaning the speed brakes and the flaps and all that. I don't know why my X-Plane's been doing that, but it doesn't bother me on the replay as long as the behavior is accurate, which it is. So it still looks like we pretty much nailed it in the, I mean, we were just a little left of the line, of course. You can see we were kind of crabbing it too, even though I'm not quite sure I completed the crab right. I should be, I should have just actually got over a little bit to the right. A little hop, that's where that hard landing came in, nose down. On the runway, a little left of center, of course. But it is what it is. Real talk. You guys know we're going to do the last view, which is going to be a window seat. Alright guys, so as usual, I just want to say thank you for joining my stream and hanging out with us today. And hope to see you guys back on the next stream. And hopefully we have a better takeoff and a better landing. I hope you guys definitely stay safe. And Aviator JT, hey. Thanks for checking in. Mall Gaming, Dave McKee, Captain Geo, Jake Lewis, Greenlight Auto Brokers, my wife, my kids, Will Burke. I want to say Dave McKee, of course. I think I said that name, but thank you all for being interactive in the chat. Jake Lewis, if I didn't say your name, I'll say it again. And hopefully we do this again real soon. I definitely enjoy doing this. It's my hobby, so for me to do it and for you guys to hang out, it's the icing on the cake. We'll continue to grow the channel. Welcome into Charlotte, guys, and we'll see you next time on the Dre YouTube channel. We're going to ride it out wing view to the gate, and that'll be it, folks. God bless. Have a great rest of your Wednesday night or Thursday morning, depending on where you're at in the world. And I will definitely be checking you guys out, hopefully tomorrow. But if not, hopefully the F&O, and maybe do some American Truck Simulator on Saturday. We'll see what the Commander-in-Chief, my wife, has a plan in store for me. So we'll see you guys. Take care.
I